What's good, YouTube? It's your boy Trev, and I'm back with another video. I wanted to make this video before I hit the gym and before I get a haircut because I got a lot of thoughts on this topic, and I've been wanting to talk about this for a minute because I've had some thoughts on this person for years and years, because I'm a big WWE fan. I've been watching since WWE, WWF. I watched from WCW. I watch AEW. Anything pro wrestling, I watch it. But I wanted to talk about the situation because recently, Hulk Hogan, he passed away due to cardiac arrest, something with his heart. And a lot of people have been throwing dirt on his name. They've been saying this and this about him. And honestly, I'll be lying to you that as a black man, I was a fan of Hulk Hogan. I'm not even going to hold you. His theme song, a banger. His moveset, a banger. The leg drop, a banger. Body slamming Andre the Giant, a banger. But for some reason, he did not like black people. He did not like my black ass. So I got a lot of thoughts, and it's not what you think, honestly. It's not what you think, because I'm the type of person, race don't matter to me. You could be a good person regardless of your race. You could be a bad person regardless of your race. And when I see certain people speak on the dead, I get mad because I'm like, bro, the person is off this earth. We have nothing left to say about him. What he did, and a person is judged by their actions. But we can show some human decency for a person and basically say, yo, this dude was a fucking racist. He was a bitch, but he's not here. Let's just let him be dead. Let him be in the dirt. Rest in peace, or rest in the other thing that people say. But when I see people constantly just ragging on this dude and he died, it just neglects his legacy, bro. Because he said that racist shit and it made me mad. It made me not rock with him. And everything he got in his life, he deserved for saying what he said. But he also deserves the success he got too, because he was very popular. He was in Rocky. He did all this other stuff too. And a lot of people get it twisted because of their emotional feelings to negate the accomplishments of this man. So when I see it in the media, I'm like, damn, they got to put a little bit of respect on Hulk's name. And granted, I don't like the dude. I don't even know him personally. And he wouldn't like my black ass. But, I have a lot to say about the dude because I was a fan of WWE, and he did have an impact on my life because, I was a fan. But that doesn't stop the fact that he was a piece of shit towards the end of his life. But we also have to acknowledge the fact that he was old as fuck. Like, he was old as fuck. And he had these boomer beliefs. Like, he believed that interracial relationships are bad, which is wrong. And he had a lot of other beliefs we probably didn't hear about because it wasn't that important. But that was his personal beliefs. And on a personal note, I've had people in my family who think just like him, but they have a different skin color, so it's not a big deal. So a lot of what these older people say, they're deeply held beliefs. They're deeply held beliefs, and they held them their whole life, and they're not changing. They're not changing. They're not like us in 2025 or the 1990s or whatever. They're not like our generation. They just kind of stick to their guns, and they don't like to adapt, and that's their fucking problem. But, I will not lie. The man was successful, and I'm not going to be one of the people that rag on him. But, I didn't even want to talk about all that. But, that's just the backstory to Hulk Hogan or whatever and how I feel about him. But I saw that his daughter in the media neglected his fortune. She said, I'm not going to take his fortune. Fuck that guy. I'm disowned from him. And I'm like, bro, what an idiot, bro. I'm like, what an idiot. And I'm not going to lie to y'all. I thought she was pretty dumb ever since, and like, I'm not even trying to be disrespectful, but I watched his daughter basically grow up on TV. Like, she had a show on MTV back in the 2000s called Brooke Knows Best. And even back then, she did not have like a great head on her shoulders. And I used to watch that show and get infuriated because sometimes it's like, damn, she don't get it. And she messing with the brothers, and there's nothing wrong with that. But some things she just doesn't get. But even if you hate this dude, bro, like, come on, bro. He's leaving you millions of dollars, and you just gonna turn away from that? I'm like, you could take his racist ass money, and you could become something better with that money. You could not be a racist. You could use that money for a better case. But just outright neglecting your legacy is crazy to me because, bro, even if and I'm not going to lie to you, my parents haven't left me shit, and there's probably not going to be shit because, we don't really have that much. But if they left me something, I would form it into my own and keep the legacy going and not be a degenerate or anything like that. I would take that money and not be a racist. I would take that money and give it to charity. I would take that money and better my life to educate my kids and educate other people. But to outright neglect millions of dollars, it just screams entitlement and it screams insanity. Because it's like, even if you didn't rock with the dude, money is money. And you just take that and you try to better your life and better the life of society. So when I see that kind of stuff, I'm like, damn, bro, she doesn't know best. She doesn't know best at all. But to say this is like the Hogan family, I'm praying for them, and I hope they find some solace because their situation is crazy for rich people, and you never know what they're going on to. But, I wanted to give my thoughts as a fan and as an outside observer on what I think about them and what I think they should do going forward, because it's a crazy situation, and it just goes to show you how deep family ties and family beliefs can, you know, either make or break a family. And it's crazy to me because it's like, I think Brooke's married now. I went on the Instagram or whatever, and she's got a kid or whatever, and low-key she did exactly what Hulk Hogan wanted to, even though she'll say this and that. She did exactly what he wanted to. And you know, you have free will in life. You could do whatever you want to do, but it's like, you know, there's certain things in life that I believe you should and shouldn't do. And if you get a bunch of money and you have the opportunity and it's life-changing money and you could change your life, you could do that. But, you know, what do I know? What do I know, man? I'm just a guy giving commentary on YouTube. And, you know, rest in peace to Hulk Hogan. Rest in peace. Sorry, my camera cut it out. But it's like, rest in peace. You know, hopefully everything turns out okay for the family. And if you guys like what I had to say on this topic, like, comment, and subscribe for more content. Definitely got more to say on different society topics. And I'm out.